If you're invested in BlackBerry, I know a lot of you might not have a lot of hope right now, and a lot of you might be very desperate to see any kind of green day at all at this point. And I assure you, I've been watching the charts closely, reading every news article I can, and I think I found some information that you guys might want to know. Make sure to comment down below how many shares of BlackBerry you're currently holding, but other than that, let's get right into this video. Alrighty guys, here we are with the BlackBerry, otherwise known as ticker symbol BBB, currently sitting around $10.69 per share, down about 3.43% today, which is pretty unfortunate, obviously. And for the most part, we're going to get into more of the price action and the detailed technicals here in the later part of the video. But just for a quick little kind of demonstration here, the month has not been great, right? We have seen nothing but a downtrend all this month, and now, I mean, we started the month at 14 and now we're sitting at about $10, a significant decrease. And overall, since this original pump up here back on kind of, June 1st, June 3rd, June 2nd, we've been seeing nothing but red, unfortunately. And a lot of investors, I'm sure, if those of you who are watching this are investors in BlackBerry, are probably getting a little bit concerned. You might be feeling a little bit anxious. You might be feeling worried about the money that you have, that you've lost, maybe even with these shares. But even if you're an ape, even if you're someone who has lots of money in this stock, and is willing to hold no matter what until the bitter end, whether that ends in heaven for you, in massive gain land or somewhere else, you're willing to hold. Even you might be feeling some anxiety, and I get it, because this stock has been being crushed lately, and that's not even necessarily me. Again, I like the stock, to be honest. I think they continue to update and upgrade every aspect of their business on a day-to-day basis. I think they're continuing to expand revenues and also different projects and expansions into different markets, and I think they're doing a good job at doing that. It's just unfortunate though, because this stock is, of course, as we all know, heavily shorted, and also too, BlackBerry's overall popularity has faded quite a bit in just the last couple of years. So what are we trying to talk about in this video? Because you're probably wondering, well, is there good news? Is there anything positive about BlackBerry? And well, this news article right here, why BlackBerry could erupt this summer, of course written by the Motley Fool, so take it with a grain of salt, but this fascinates me, because what this shows me is that there are still people looking at BlackBerry. Not just that, but there are also potential for a future breakout. Let's read a little bit of this article so we can get some more context to this and understand why. The investment world was abuzz in early 2021 as Reddit users on the Wall Street Bets board staged a campaign to challenge short investors to target GameStop. That bold strategy paid off in a big way. In late January, the stock soared to an all-time high of $483 per share, and is also gaining momentum in early March and late May. So that just kind of recaps obviously what happened with GameStop. They also recap a little bit of AMC, Nokia, and of course BlackBerry and what is happening with them. And then if we go down here and the story continues, BlackBerry has made promising strides in the growing market. Before the Reddit craze in early 2021, BlackBerry made a big announcement in December 2020. Its stock price spiked after its announcement in collaboration with Amazon Web Services. The collaboration aims to accelerate innovation and further BlackBerry's intelligent vehicle platform, IVY. This collaboration was one of the reasons it was still bullish on BlackBerry stock. I was still bullish on BlackBerry stock, rather, even after its lost momentum from the social media craze in early February. Indeed, the automated vehicles of our market is geared up for big growth going forward. Allied Market Research recently projected that the global automotive software market would hit about $43.7 billion by 2027. That would represent a CAGR of 14.5% from 2020 through the end of the projected period. And the rest of this goes on to talk about a little bit about cybersecurity and just kind of how BlackBerry fits into that role. But overall, what this person is basically kind of pointing out is that cybersecurity and as well, smart vehicles are the future. And BlackBerry is heavily focused on moving into that market. They want to dominate that market and do very well in it. And I think it's a smart move. I think it's a market that clearly is going to have no shortage of customers anytime soon, especially as we continue to advance our technology and we continue to advance really every product that is available to us. And I think that overall, this is a good move for BlackBerry. It may take some time for the valuation of the stock price of the actual company itself to kind of correct and to actually appear, correct, because right now there's just unfortunately a lot of people selling And of course, there's a lot of short positions, which obviously is going to drive the price of the stock down to begin with. That's the thing, as many people in the comments or in, on social media platforms or wherever, tell everyone to hold strong and diamond hands and everything. You guys got to remember there's a lot of people who aren't, and of course that's unfortunate for the stock price, because when people sell, obviously that drives the value of their assets down. So that's always something to keep in mind. But again, I think BlackBerry is moving in the right direction as far as business fundamentals go, and I really don't see why there still is a lot of hate on this company from a fundamental aspect. I get it, there's a lot of issues with revenue, I get it, there's a lot of issues with debt, and losses and things like that, and I understand that. But I mean, every company, I'm sure anybody who hates on this company for the losses and debt it has probably has a favorite, new growth, tech startup that's public that also has a lot of debt that's still kind of a new company. And I get it, BlackBerry's been around for a long time. They should have this cleared up by now. But hey, life's crazy, and hopefully they can figure it out and fix it up. But again, that's, I'm looking at BlackBerry more as either a swing trade or a lottery ticket. I'm not looking at this from a purely fundamental standpoint, right? This is if retail sentiment kicks back up, this stock could go to the moon. It's entirely possible that if all of a sudden the retail storm begins once again and BlackBerry is the main target this time, well, there are some big things, of course, that could happen. Now, let's dive into the overall price action here. Here we are on the intraday chart. Today is July 14th. And we're sitting at about, pre-market was kind of volatile, up, down, and then we opened very high at about $11.18 and dumped all the way down to $10.68. 64 was the low. And RSI super oversold down here, and overall just very low. Again, for day traders, RSI, some of my favorite tools to use to, find good winning positions in the stock market. Whenever the RSI is super low, there usually is, of course, a bounce back up to being oversold. We see this here, we see this right here where it bounces back up, not as much, but a little bit, bounces back up here. And then what we can also do is pull out to a wider time frame here. Here's the 180-day chart, and it happened here, happened here, happened here, happened here. This is what I like to use. I like to use the RSI to find good position entry points into, of course, certain stocks. BlackBerry, obviously, earnings per share right there on the last earnings call is negative 0.05 cents. Not too great, unfortunately. And overall, this is not a pattern that we really like to see. Now, if you really wanted to push your luck with technical analysis, you could argue that this is a bull flag, but again, it's not trading really within the channel, And the problem with technical analysis sometimes is a lot of it is confirmation bias. So that's something, of course, to be aware of and to keep in mind. Technical analysis doesn't always predict what is going to happen with the stock. We saw that with AMC. When AMC pattern failed, the pennant pattern that everyone was expecting it to skyrocket out of, it ended up going the other way completely. And it happens sometimes. Stocks pattern fail, and it's really important to be aware of that. But overall, I don't want to sound like I'm hating on the stock or I'm being sad or depressed about it or anything like that. I want you guys to be very clear in understanding that I like this stock. I like fundamentally what they're doing and how they're expanding and everything. I just think for now, this is a patience game. And I've said this with almost every, meme related stock, is that these are patience driven, because a lot of these stocks could trade a lot lower or trade in these low areas for, weeks to even months, maybe even a year, and I'm not saying it's going to happen with BlackBerry, but again, it takes patience if you're still holding, especially if you're holding at a loss, if you bought in at some of these higher levels, to, wait to make a profit if the stock price does reverse and go the other way. Again, this stock is approaching levels of being heavily oversold. We already saw it break down below that right here once before, then it shot back up after, and then it's just going to go lower. But again, there has to be some point where there's going to be maybe some type of reversal. Again, that's not guaranteed and that's not 100% sure going to happen, but I'm going to be watching it very closely. We're going to be watching all the news articles, and of course we're going to keep making videos because it's important to get you guys, notified and aware of news that's going on with this stock and every other stock combined. So make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss that, turn on your notifications. But other than that, guys, that is pretty much it for BlackBerry. Make sure to like the video, subscribe if you're new, hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video like this. If you guys want to get some free stocks with WeBull, check out our WeBull link in the description below. And if you guys want to get access to our private Discord, check out our Patreon link down there as well. But other than that, guys, that is all I have for you guys today. I'm Kyle with Finance Bro. Take it easy.